Hi guys, this is genuinely Gigi and I'm back for another video. Today I wanted to talk about why it's important not to be easy game, and I'm going to discuss the definition of easy game. Easy game means you come across as naive, as gullible, as somebody who's easily impressed. And I wanted to discuss the dangers of being someone who appears to be easy game or someone who is easy game. All right. So the reason why it is important not to come across as someone who's easy game or not to be this woman who's simply on dating guys because you're just simply looking for love. Why? Because you should never be dating a guy at first looking for love. That should never be your first priority when you're on a date with a guy. When you're dating a guy, what you should be asking and what you should be looking for are red flags that he has serious issues. I wanted to talk about this because we live in a day and age where there's a lot of online dating going on. Or we also live in a day and age where a lot of us live in maybe a big city, and you just have a lot of options when it comes to dating. We look at the age our grandparents lived in when they were younger. And a lot of our grandparents, when they were younger, when they were dating someone or when they met their husband or wife, they would oftentimes, date the person next door. We've all heard the story. They would date the person next door or date someone who they grew up with or date someone in the town that they grew up with. And if they wanted to find out about this person, all they would simply have to do is they can ask this person's family, they can ask friends who know this person, what this person's like. They can just simply ask people around the town. Well, we no longer live in that age. We live in an age where we can date someone online who lives halfway across the world, or we can date someone online who lives in a different state, or, we can meet somebody in a club or meet someone somewhere and they come from a completely different area. They come from out of state or they just moved here. So we no longer live in the age where we can simply ask our friends and families about somebody that we're dating. So I wanted to talk about paying attention to dating red flags rather than simply just looking for love, because before we look for love, we need to find out if this person has some serious red flags about them that can make them either A, dangerous, or B, deceptive, or C, both. Okay? So when we're first dating somebody, we need to be in a mindset of discernment. We need to be discerning if they have serious problems or could potentially have serious problems about them. So what do I mean when I say if a person or if a guy is dangerous? All right? So if a guy is dangerous, meaning, has he ever stalked or harassed a woman before? Does he have a criminal record? Does he have an explosive temper? Okay? What do I mean by deceptive? Deceptive meaning, is this man hiding a wife and kids somewhere in a different state, or just a wife and kids? Is he hiding a whole family? Is he married? Does this man have a serious addiction that he's hiding? Does this man have a bunch of kids with several different women? Did this man actually go to the school or university he said he went to? Does this man actually work at the job that he said he's working at, or that he claims to have worked at? Okay. We live in the age of online. Okay. So basically, when we meet somebody who's online, they can create, even on their social media, they can create this whole persona and profile of what they want people to believe. And people now, it's very common for people to do that. Okay. Not just with pictures or their physical appearance, But they can say they went to the school or university they never went to. They can say they worked at this place they never went to. They can say basically anything that they want you to hear. So I wanted to talk about why it's important not to be easy game and not to be simply, when we're dating, simply just looking for love or someone to love us. We need to be looking for red flags. We need to be looking for signs that this person's story is not matching up. We need to be looking for signs that this person's potentially dangerous. Okay? So let me talk a little bit more about what happens when you are easy game. So if you're easy game and you're simply dating a guy that looks for love, a guy who's dangerous, a guy who's deceptive, especially men who are deceptive, because men who are deceptive are oftentimes very charming when they're dating a woman. They can go all out, take her on a very romantic date. They can buy her flowers. They usually go all out with romantic gestures. But if you're not in a discerning mindset, what happens is that a guy can take you on romantic dates. He can make a lot of romantic and sweet gestures, buy you flowers, write you poems, just very romantic and what appears to be thoughtful gestures. And if you're simply a woman who's simply looking for love, you're not discerning if there's potential red flags, you can be the one that falls for these type of men very easily, okay? Because what you fell for was not who he really was. What you fell for was all the romantic gestures that he did as a way of reeling you in and winning your heart over, okay? So when a man is dangerous or when a man is deceptive, there are always red flags there are always going to be red flags. But if we're not paying attention to those red flags because we are easy game and we're, easily fooled, then we're going to easily miss those red flags. But there are always going to be red flags, okay? And if you find yourself in a situation where you have seen some red flags or something about his story seems to be off, or something's not matching up, if you need to do research on a guy or hire a private investigator or maybe just do a little bit more digging, then so be it. Do it, okay? Always pay attention to our intuition and something telling us that it's not off. Because romantic gestures, while they're nice and they could be signs that you're dealing with a nice guy, they're not always an indicator that you are dealing with a nice man or a decent man or a high value man. Those can merely be a front. Those romantic gestures can merely be a front for someone who is a narcissist who's trying to get into our good graces, someone who is dangerous, but he's trying to get into our good graces, someone who is deceptive, who's trying to get into our good graces. Men who are narcissists, men who are sociopaths, men who are abusive, they also oftentimes, when they start dating a woman, they do go through the motions of going all out with romantic gestures, taking nice dates. Those men do those too. So that's not necessarily a sign that you're dealing with a decent guy because he went all out on a date. He bought us flowers. He took us on a horse and carriage ride, or he took us to a nice restaurant. Those are not signs. Those are not necessarily indicators that you're dealing with a high value man, because even low value men or dusty men or men who are deceptive, narcissistic, they're dangerous, can also do these things as well too, okay? So as long as we are in a discerning mindset, then that means that we're not going to be easily impressed by a man who does these things, and we can be on the watch for red flags that may pop up, because these type of men always show themselves sooner or later. Um, very rarely are you going to find a man who's a very, 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 very good liar and not show any red flags at all. There are always going to be red flags, but you have to be looking out for them. So I just wanted to make a quick video on why it's important not to be easy game, okay? Simply because a man does romantic and nice things for us, that doesn't necessarily make him a good man, okay? So I hope you like this video. This is genuinely Gigi. I'm just being genuine. Please share your comments down below and your thoughts. I would love to hear them. And also please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.